Okay, now we've cut all the moulding. There's quite a heap of it there. So, that's what it looks like. Right. The next thing is to move on to the patterns. The plans will show you the dimensions to cut the triangles at, and what you need is a piece of ply. For the GD18, it's basically two patterns. This one here, which we call the hex triangle, and this one here, which we call the pent triangle. Try and get your triangles as accurate as possible, because if you do that now and get everything exact to the plans, it'll save you a lot of time later on. Okay, so we have our moulding cut and we have our pattern made. What we need next is to make the pattern into a jig. So measure the angle here and then set your saw up with that angle. It's all written on the plan, so you don't have to worry about what that is. Set that up as accurate as you can, and then cross cut your moulding with that angle on it. There. When do one or two to test them, and then what you have to do next is lay your moulding right on the very edge of the pattern. Okay, I've clamped them in place. Now this is another time to be as accurate as possible. Make sure that this runs exactly flush to the outside of your pattern. That's the corners. I've clamped them in position now so they won't move. And that gives you the start of your pattern. Again, check everything all the way around to make sure that it's all completely flush with the outside of your pattern. We've done that now. Make sure that it fits nice and snugly all the way around the pattern. And that's all fixed to there. So now we can take this off. And we're left with a square section fitted onto our pattern. That makes the jig. Okay, let's build our first triangle. Remember to keep the moulding close to the pattern as you can. Every time you make one, make it nice and tight to the pattern. That's a little bit. I'll trim these edges. Make sure that your saw runs parallel with this, and that obviously the outside angle is there. Nice and flush. Same here. next we need to test that our first triangle is accurate. So let's tight on the mould. Tight on the mould. Pop it off. This is your top. We know that it's an isosceles triangle, so these sides are equal and this is slightly smaller. Flip it over and put it back on the pattern. Now if it doesn't go on off, it will just nice and tight all the way around. That's perfect. Put it back. If you get any gaps down one corner and tight at the other, that means that it's not an exact isosceles and you need to adjust your pattern to make that perfect. Okay, once you've done your first one, last thing to do is double check your measurements. So just check from point to point, and you should be really within about a millimetre or a 1/16 of an inch of the drawings. Right, I'll get on with the next pattern and show you how that works. Okay, I've done exactly the same with the pentagon, which is, just show you here. Triangle, wooden frame around the inside, check your measurements, put your pentagon triangle on, turn it over. Right, now we need one more last test. I've got a pentagon triangle here and a hexagon here. What we have to do is you have to put the base of each together. And when we nip them up, they should be exactly the same length. Check that there. Line it all up. Check that there. I'll show you that close up. There, like that. Exactly flush, both ends. If that's the case, you're good to go to make all the rest of the triangles.